All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. Thanks for being patient with us and jumping on just a couple minutes late, but we're rolling now. I had a little special music queued up for the waiting screen, but I didn't quite pull it off right. So I'm gonna try to get that thing queued up before we go. Special little treat that I think everybody will get a kick out of at the end of the day here. But thank y'all for jumping on here with us. We are proud to welcome, I guess about a month late, but we're proud to welcome Jacob Moeller, the Lonestar Kayak Classic winner down there in Texas. It's quickly become like the legendary tournament west of the Mississippi there. A lot of talk about it. A lot of folks, hearing about it through the different pages around the country, but glad to get you on here, man.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, yeah, we're doing good. You hear us okay?
I'm doing all right. Yes,
all right, well,
get loud and clear.
Well, hey, before we get going, we want to talk about tournament day itself, but like I said, that tournament has kind of garnered legendary status around the country. We've talked about it on KBN Live before. We had Duke and Dan on a year or two ago talking about it. Tell us a little bit about that event. I mean, it's a championship for Texas, but it's also kind of a celebration at the end of the year. So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about the event before we talk about tournament day itself.
It really is. Man, what a great event. I'm blessed to come from this state where we have a lot of really great grassroots trails. But man, I don't think I've fished another tournament that has such great camaraderie and great, great people. Duke does a great job putting that event on. Man, I've done it for the last 2 years, and it's been a ton of fun. It really has been.
Well, I mean, it's full of hammers. This year, I think it had, if I understand it right, there was over 150 anglers in that thing, right? It was a huge field.
Yes, sir. I believe it was 109, I want to say. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty good size one. It was good that they let us spread out the way that they let us spread out between Buchanan and Inks and LBJ. I really like that. It coincides with social distancing well, and it just allows the anglers to spread out, and I love that personally.
Yeah, I mean the throwdown. I think to get in it, you just have to fish one tournament in Texas, and I've always fished at least once. I've been threatening to come to it for a few years. It sounds like the kind of tournament Ryan needs to come to. What do you think, Ryan?
I mean, I'm down. I'd love to come fish. I think it sounds like a pretty good time. Seems like as much of a social function as a fishing tournament, so that's right up my alley.
Yeah, you probably have the advantage coming in after a late night on Friday,
something like that.
It's really the best of both worlds. I mean, it's a serious tournament, with a lot of really good anglers, and it's a really good. How do I say? Just it's got a lot of camaraderie. Just that everybody comes together and has a really good time. So I mean, it's the best of both worlds. I fished a lot of kayak tournaments, and they've all been really good, but this one definitely tops them as far as that. Just that experience for the angler, no doubt.
Was this the one, Jeff, that was like on the weekend of the national championship?
Yeah, it kind of went down the same weekends as several of our state championships, I think.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought I remembered Scotch like leaving Gunnersville and driving straight through to get back home to fish that tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think the day went as planned for him, so he went back to head to the throwdown. It's a good way to heal your wounds.
Absolutely.
Get over there and drown in the western sun. You guys get a lot of support for that thing. I mean, there are tons of sponsors, food, drinks, anything you want, right?
Absolutely. I've never had food like that at a kayak tournament. I mean, both years. I mean, they definitely showed out, and you could go back for as many seconds as you wanted. It was
Do they
really, really.
cater it, or do they have different vendors come in, or how do they do it?
I think they do a form of catering. There was one particular uh, team of people putting the food together.
Gotcha.
Katie's dropping the links for us. Of course, it was October 10th, she said. And I don't know if it's probably around that time every year. So who knows? If we can ever get off the same date as our state championship, it's a no-brainer to drive to wherever it's going to be because it's not that far from me. Now, how does it go for next year? Picking the location, is it the winning team or the winning angler picks the location?
That's right. That's right. The winning division, the winning region, is allowed to decide where it'll be next year. And so we've definitely done a lot of brainstorming, but we do have to keep in mind, where we can actually, have the tournament as far as accommodations with people staying. Hotels, and venues, stuff like that. And we have a lot of the COVID, stuff that we've got to kind of abide by. So that's why we're going to have to do some strategizing when it gets closer to see what's actually really available, not just where we want to go.
I don't think you'll have to worry about it this time next year. We'll be over the COVID bug by then.
Hopefully, absolutely. I mean, hopefully that is the case.
Patrick Malone said
Malone.
it's always Columbus Day weekend.
Always Columbus Day weekend.
Always. It's a Columbus
Keep
Day
that
weekend.
in mind. Nobody's schedule on top.
Good way to remember it.
It makes it easy. It makes it good for travel too. You can recover for a few days before you head back.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the tournament day itself, man. Can you remember the details? I know it's been a few weeks.
Yeah. Started out throwing a glide bait around docks. In fact, it's this bait right here. It's made by Bait Sanity. It's called an antidote glide, and it's a really great glide bait in my opinion. Doesn't break the bank. It's only $25. Comes in a bunch of colors. It's not super big and super heavy. You don't have to have a ton of dedicated swim bait gear to really throw it. I mean, you do need a bigger rod. It is about 2 ounces. But anyway, started throwing this guy and caught one pretty early in the tournament in the morning, and started it off like that. And once the sun fully came up, I just started skipping docks with a finesse swim bait, and I caught the majority of my limit throughout the day doing that. And then we had quite a bit of we had a nice pretty day and a lot of boat traffic. A lot of pleasure boaters got out there middle of the day and created a lot of chop and a lot of just rough water crashing into the docks, and it kind of changed that pattern for me. And I decided, gosh, this was around 1:30. That's right. I'm jogging my memory here. I had broke off a really big fish around 1 o'clock. And I did already have 5, but my limit wasn't very, very big. And I broke off a pretty good sized fish and skipping those docks and just immediately retied and tried to just keep my mind focused. I knew how important that fish could have been. And I just kept grinding. And then with all that going on with the commotion, I moved out. I found an old brush pile that I fished in the past that's been good to me. And we had about an hour to go, somewhere in there in the tournament, and just slid off on that brush pile with a drop shot and caught one. I think it was 18 3/4, something like that. Basically right at the end, and that was it. It was good enough for 94 and change, and that's pretty much in a nutshell how it went.
We lost Ryan there. I don't know what happened. Hopefully he jumps back in.
So,
Yeah, but that kind of speaks to that. You said you were throwing that big glide bait to start with, and then ended up finishing with a drop shot, real finessey. So, that goes to show how versatile you had to be that day, huh?
absolutely, just adjusting, with the weather and the people. I knew that I was choosing a lake that could happen on, and kind of change your pattern. It just got so rough. You just couldn't keep running that same pattern. It's just hard to skip baits, in really choppy water, especially if the docks don't give you a lot of clearance. And so, just knew that I needed to slide out, especially with it being, real bright, just a little too rough. So moved out and had to rely on the old drop shot.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what happened to Ryan. He was catching them on spinner baits and jackhammers, and ended up with a Ned rig up there on the river. Right? You have to adjust on the fly. Mm-hmm. Ryan, we got you back, man. I don't know what happened there.
And on that drop shot fish to end it, I had to soak that bait, and I just had a gut feeling. On the first cast, it made a cast and just knew, or felt like I knew. Just let it sit. Don't move it. Let it sit. I let it get down in there, and I just yo-yoed it up once, and I let it come back down and yo-yoed it again with a little more speed and let it fall, and that's it, and that's all it took for that fish to bite. But that bait had sat there for 45 seconds or so before I touched it at all, So it's kind of a weird little deal. We fish a lot of lakes in Central Texas that are quite pressured, and I just had a feeling, just leave it alone, just let it sit. And so kind of similar, I guess, to like that Ned rig, just real finesse right in their face, and it worked out.
Ryan, you with us, buddy?
I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to be. I keep losing you on the audio, so I've refreshed a couple times.
You're popping in and out here like a ninja.
Well, I can hear Jacob, but I lose you, and I don't know if that's just because my own doing. But yeah, I don't know.
Very
why
strange.
I keep cutting you out, Jeff. I'm sorry.
It's all right,
bad.
Man.
I'm sorry.
My feelings can take it. I'll be all right. So we were talking about the tournament as we weaved you in and out of the connection, Ryan. But he kind of finished the tournament up, catching his final good fish with a drop shot after catching him on that big swim bait early.
Yeah, I've caught his whole story. I just can't hear anything.
You can't hear me. All right. Well,
yeah, that's good. I'm with Jacob. Yeah,
carry on.
Good.
All right. Clifton Allen, he threw in there Texas Strong. What do you know about Clifton Allen, Jacob? Familiar with Clifton?
I hear his name a ton on your podcast, and I know I see his name on Facebook a lot, but I personally don't know him. I'm not sure if we've met before. I'm drawing a blank beyond just seeing his name.
That's the people's champion. If you didn't know, that's what they say. Or maybe that's just what he says. I'm not sure.
The people say that. I'm pretty sure. All the people.
We love you, Clifton. We love he brings a special flavor to KBN, to the group. So
I got
spicy.
All right.
Spicy.
Yeah. See, I did a little research before we came on, Ryan, and this wasn't Jacob here's not a one-trick pony just winning the throwdown. He's the KATS AOY. Came runner-up to the KATS Classic. So, Jacob, tell us a little bit about your season down there at KATS, man. Everybody that not from Texas may not be familiar with that, but that's about as an elite series as you can find anywhere in the country, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gosh, I was born into a family that I had tournament anglers for parents. And so I grew up around tournament bass fishing. And obviously for a lot of us, school and sports were the primary deal growing up. So fishing was just a recreational, pastime. But in, let's see, gosh, 2014, 2013, I had a bodybuilding injury and I needed to kind of rehabilitate that and get out of the gym, take a little break for a little while. And I started fishing out of my brother's kayak. He was deployed in Afghanistan and he left his kayak behind and I got out on the water and started playing around and thought, man, this is a lot of fun, and started researching kayaks and looking into it. And I stumbled on, the Awesome Canoe and Kayak, and saw that they had a brand new store coming up in San Antonio, and checked it out and went and bought a field free lure, 11.5, and practiced all of 2015 for the 2016 KATS season. And the guys that worked at Austin Canoe and Kayak at the time, Tyler Howell, he's a good buddy of mine. He's probably the first guy that mentioned KATS to me back then, and I checked it out online and saw a lot of the YouTube videos and just stuff on social media, and thought it was really cool, and decided in 2015 that I was going to practice for a year and get ready for KATS in 2016. And in 2016, I competed for the first time in kayak tournament in KATS, and quickly learned how good of a tournament trail it really was, how big of a trail it was. I mean, you got, some of the heaviest hitters in the kayak world were fishing it already before me. And, guys like Guillermo and Sanderson, Ryan Herzog, I mean, the list, I mean, it goes on and on. So, yeah, I got bit real bad, and I've competed in every KATS tournament since then, and it's just become an extreme, addiction, hobby, all the above. And yeah, KATS is just a really, really great kayak trail. As far as this season goes, it's just how do I say, a building from all the other seasons prior. I've been in that top 4 in AOY since 2017, just trying to get it. And this year worked out really good. I think I had four top 10s this year in the regular season for in the points race, and our goal is always to win AOY and to make it to the classic, and this year worked out really well. Worked out well.
Texas is a unique place because it's got so many trails and so many anglers.
It does.
You don't even really have to leave Texas. Now, there's quite a few guys that do leave Texas, but you don't have to compete on an elite level. So, how much did you get outside and travel around this year in 2020? Did you?
So I didn't get out of the state, and I've yet to get out of the state and bass fish tournament wise. Heck, I've never bass fished outside of Texas, period. And so I'm really excited for 2021. I've been paying attention. I've been sitting back, taking notes, paying attention to what's going on that national level these last couple of years. And I'm really hungry. I stay close with Guillermo and Joseph, and they've got me pumped up for this season. I think it's going to be cool. I've got some pretty big plans to get out of the state and be competitive, especially in the Hobie series.
Yeah, you mentioned Joseph. Every time he leaves the state, he finishes the top 10. It seems like. But you got him, Guillermo, Matt Scotch, all these guys that have had success nationally. But I'll bet you there's probably a dozen or more guys in Texas that don't do that, don't travel around. That would be a factor. Anybody off the top of your head besides yourself that you can think of that hasn't really done that would be a factor anywhere?
Absolutely. Gosh, most of my closest friends from that San Antonio area that fish KATS consistently. I could throw some names: Tyler Howell, Adam Slick, Andrew Dixon. Gosh, I'm forgetting Eugene Mora, Zach Hester, J.R. Mockabee. Absolutely, all those guys. Central wise, I mean, Derek Taylor. Derek needs to be doing it. Most definitely. He would compete anywhere he went. And there's honestly, I'm leaving out a ton of people. We could sit here for a while and list. There's a ton of anglers out of Texas that, in my opinion, can compete on any level.
I don't know if you saw Clifton's comment. I just threw it on the screen there. He said these guys think we're chumps because we don't travel all over the country. Clifton always says he's going to travel. He just never shows up.
Clifton, I think you're a chump because I don't see you anywhere. That's why I think you're a chump. It's not necessarily because you don't, but I mean, hell, I come to Texas and John will meet me. I can go hang out with John, but Clifton doesn't show up. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and DJ said if he stayed in Texas, he'd only fish there too. I get that. I mean, I was gonna say Texas is like California, but that's becoming too much of a reality. I just meant in size and the bodies of water that are available.
And the tight pants.
Right. What was that?
By the way, Ryan.
Yeah.
Type of people.
Pants. Those are the two things. I think Texas probably has tighter pants at the top. California has tighter pants at the bottom, but I don't know.
I got you. You're loud and clear now, by the way, Ryan. I don't know what was going on, but we're glad to have you in.
We took 7 different devices, so that's great.
Yeah, awesome. I don't know if you heard what I asked him, but I basically asked him about all the anglers that don't travel that he could, that he would name, and he name dropped quite a few, even though we know the regulars that get out and cash checks all over the place. I swear Joseph Sanderson, he'd just fly in randomly to some place, get the top 10, and get the heck out of there. It's crazy.
3 different Hobie events.
That's how you do it.
Again in the TSP.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
That's
and
how
super respectful too. Not only is he good, but he's
got a lot
a good
of
dude.
respect for him.
DJ says Cali has better herbal products.
100%.
I guess that therapeutics. Is that what he's talking about?
Maybe a fact.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. If you guys have any questions for Jacob in particular, please fire them off in the comments. I'm trying to get your comments over onto the screen so that everybody can see them. But they're coming in hot and quick. Okay, I'll throw Clifton's up there real quick. That's funny. Jacob, you're talking about throwing them big swim baits. Can you zoom your phone over towards the side there? Give us a little peek at what you got on that counter.
Sure.
Tell us what you got over there.
Y'all can see them there, but I've just started building my collection. I got bit 6 months ago or so, and I'm addicted. Addicted bad, especially to glide baits. I love glide bait fishing, even though there's not a lot of glide baits right there. There's wake baits, those rat baits. Yeah, I love throwing a Depths 250. As far as the big baits go, gosh, I mean, I love the Bait Sanity Explorer Carp or Explorer Glide. I throw some glide baits by ABT. They're another company. It's also. I want to give a shout out to Hill Country Swim Baits. They're located here in Texas, and they make a really high quality swim bait. They've got their bluegill floater is probably the most popular bait that they have. A lot of people seen it, but it's just a real big segmented. They make it in a slow sink and they make it in a floater. This one's a floater. They make pretty nice glide baits. Kind of like a Piz. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to hold the bait.
Oh, we can see it fine, man. That's legit.
Yeah.
We had Jordan on here with Ryan a couple weeks ago, and he talked about the fit he throws when he loses a bull shad. What's the most expensive one you've lost so far?
I've been very fortunate, and I have only lost one of these. It's a Sneaky Pete made by G-Rat. And this one doesn't have a tail in it right now because I take them out when they're in the box. But I lost one. I've lost this color in this size. I've replaced it with this one since. But so I'm only down $35.99 so far. So I haven't had a fit yet.
You haven't had one of them $150 jobs break off on you yet?
I haven't snapped one off on the cast yet, fortunately.
Figures on braid. I know.
I use like 65 or 80 pound braid to like anywhere from 20 to 40 pound Sunline F's. It's that I'm drawing a blank. It's their leader system. I think it's FC 100. leader material that they make it, and it's in pretty small diameters for the pound tests. But I use a lot of 30-pound on the bigger baits and like 20-25 on the smaller cover glides. Same with even like this Pro Rat. I just throw it on like just that big 30-pound. Every now and then I'll go straight like a big heavy co-poly, like a 30-pound Maxima. I'm drawing a blank on the name, but yeah, typically throw a little bit heavier line. It's kind of, I've always been a little bit heavier on pretty much everything. You know, here in Texas, I fish a lot of cover, heavy cover all the time. So I'm usually a little heavier on my pound tests than the next guy. Like drop shotting, for instance, I drop shot with 10-pound sniper, and I don't really ever go any lower than that.
No, 10 pounds about the lowest I throw on anything. I don't want to break a fish off. But I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, is what they say. So I guess it makes more sense.
I thought he was about to hit us with that, Ryan. That's what I thought he was.
Like, I was like, man, he teed that shit up perfect, and then just left it sitting there. I went in and I fished like an afternoon weeknight dogfight, the working man's tournament or whatever. It was on Grapevine, and I asked Matt Scotch. I was like, "You bring me a rod and reel?" He's like, "Yeah, what do you need?" I said, "Bring me a spinning combo, dude. I'm just gonna throw Ned the whole time." So he brings me straight braid, no leader, no nothing. And I was like, "Dude, I'm finesse fishing." He's like, "You finesse fishing with straight braid?" And I was like, "Can I get a marker to color the line or something?" He's like, "No, this is it.
Man.
Clear ass water. Here's some green braid. Get out there and do it, man."
Man.
Didn't you win though?
Yeah.
I did.
Hey, there's a question here from Andy for you, Jacob. Andy is from over in the Southeast. He says, does Texas have as diverse a set of fisheries as basically the Southeast with, highland lakes, grass, river systems? Is it as diverse there as it is in the rest of the Southeast over there?
Absolutely. You can find every bit of that in the text here. For the exception, we don't have any tidal influenced bass fishing waters. We don't have river systems like the TVA, that have a lot of current pull in, that have the characteristics like that. But as far as highland reservoirs that are deep and clear and rocky, where you're fishing that style, you can run down 30 minutes down the road and find a lake that's full of grass. You can find plenty of lakes in Texas with where you can live on the water. So there's tons of dock fishing, tons and tons of that. And yeah, I mean, we've got tons of grass fisheries. So you don't even have to go all over the state to find that versatility either. You can stay, in one general area and usually find different different types of lakes.
We went to, I think it was a Mon Carter. Does that sound right? It's like timber, just standing timber, like forever, like a huge standing timber reservoir. That's probably one of my favorite places that I've, as far as traveling, being on the road for work goes, like that was a cool spot to fish. I mean, it's similar to Seminole. It's like, deeper water, but just standing timber everywhere. And we fished Grapevine the day before, which was, deep, clear.
Right.
Favorite lake, but Mon Carter was definitely pretty awesome. I like that one.
Right on. Yeah, I grew up fishing really parts of the Guadalupe and parts of the Colorado when I was a really little kid. I was fortunate to have extended family members that owned lake houses on those lake houses on those rivers, really. And so I got to play around with that growing up, and it's really cool because you can fish sections of those rivers where they're the natural river, and then you can fish the reservoir areas, and I mean, you can have such diversity just within that, coming out of Canyon Lake. I'm from Canyon Lake and lived right here by it, and it's such a highland reservoir to the T, and you come out of Canyon Lake, and from there down it's back to river fishing, and now you're dealing with, it's not current that they have like on the TVA where you have locks and systems and all of that. That's a whole nother animal, but you still do have current. You learn how to fish, fish around this current. So Canyon and the Guadalupe have really taught me a lot and shown me, kind of, different extremes, so to speak, with Canyon being real clear and deep, and then the rest of the Guad being back to normal, dirty water and fishing like that. And then we've got a lot of power plant lakes here in Central Texas that have a lot of hydrilla and grass, and now we've got a lot of lakes that they're letting the grass grow in them around here. I won't say any right now, but but it's definitely on the come up with them. And I think Texas Parks and Wildlife's gotten, really good about which types of grass to spray. And I think now they're starting to kind of leave the hydrilla alone, more so. And we're really happy for that. So
What's your favorite? Would you rather fish reservoirs or moving water personally?
Man. So if I'm fishing in a tournament, if I'm fishing in a 1 or 2 day 5 fish limit tournament, I'll fish a reservoir. I'll fish a reservoir. Oh yeah, absolutely. The river it can change so fast, and I feel like river fish can get pressured quick. They're smart. They
can, but river fish have to eat. I feel like river fish are dumb in the fact that when a bait blows by them, like 9 times out of 10, they're going to take a swipe at it because that might be the only thing that blows by them all day. So
I agree.
I feel like they're easier to get on, but we just fished the TOC up in Knoxville, and I think, I don't know, probably 9 out of the top 10 were on the river.
Right.
And, those fish are more aggressive, but you may have to cover 15 miles of river to get 5 bites. But if you get 5 bites, they're 5 good fish. They're those big aggressive fish that make their life, killing whatever comes by.
I agree 100%. If I could, guarantee that that I could be around aggressive fish, that I could find aggressive fish, if I could guarantee that, if I could guarantee that I didn't have a lot of how do I say, human influence situation, I'm gonna go river it all day, every day for the rest of my life. But if I need to catch 5 in 8 hours, and I'm in Texas, and we have a good sized tournament, we have 100 people, I'm gonna fish I'm gonna fish a reservoir.
Yeah.
Just because it gives me confidence. I have a lot of confidence on a reservoir. And no matter the type, I don't mind, it doesn't matter if it's highland or lowland or what. I like that layout better for that.
Who's your Texas club? Which club?
But yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
What's your set?
KATS is who all.
You're not like North Texas.
I'm sorry.
None of that. You don't have any kind of tattoo or anything.
So no branding or anything on me, but I did declare I do fish for the South in the Throwdown.
Okay.
I was born in San Antonio and I lived around San Antonio, New Braunfels, Canyon Lake all my life. So I fish for the South.
I got you. I like.
But KATS. The KATS trail is more Central Texas based, and that's the main trail that I do fish. I fished a few Southeast Texas events over the last few years, and a few CASA, which is Kayak Anglers of San Antonio. I fished some of their events as well. And then throughout this year, I've got into those KBF monthlies, and I've had a ball doing that. I've got to attribute a lot of this year. I put a lot of time on the water, and I normally do. A lot of the guys that know me know how I loved it. I have a job that allows me to be on the water kind of when I want. And time on the water is just it's so valuable, and having an excuse to go fish all the time in those monthlies does a lot for you as an angler, because it puts you on the water a lot, and I love those monthlies because you can fish differently mentally. And I think when you can fish differently mentally like that, you learn more. You become more well-rounded. You learn how to fish all day for one fish because it's all you need. Depending on if you have time, you can fish multiple days in that. Like a KBF monthly is like 21 days. So you can just go big fish hunting. And when you do that for, a long period of time, you can learn a lot that you normally may not would have gone and done that, So I really enjoy that. And that kind of made me think about it a second ago. If it's a monthly tournament, yeah, I'll go fish the river, because I'm fishing for one. And
if you have a big fish tank, you can just go get them out and take a picture real quick, and you're done with the monthly. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Jacob, are you familiar with Conrad Benetti?
No,
you're not.
I have no idea.
He is the person that all online people strive to imitate. He lives down in South Florida. I'm just messing around. Conrad's a famed member of the KBN group page and an online.
He's like
dominant
Kim
angler.
Kardashian. He's like the Kim Kardashian of online trolling.
Yeah.
He does not mind to make a spectacle of himself on the internet. God bless him.
No, he's quite the follow. Go give him a follow. You'll enjoy that.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
I
man.
Conrad. I like Conrad. We're gonna fish together. We're fishing together next year. Fellsmere. If there's any fish left, we may have to go beat up his little honey hole down in the glades. But do you know Don Brazos? Do you know him personally? Are you too close?
No, I don't think I do.
He's a Texas celebrity. You also need to look him up and give him a follow. Well,
Don Brazos.
Is he still online anywhere, Ryan?
I don't know. He taught Matt Scotch how to fish.
Okay.
That tells you.
I got into a drunken exchange with him via DM one time. He was the drunk, not me.
He's a trip, man. Like Don is like, he's out there. Clifton loves Don, so that ought to tell you something.
Yeah. Leave Don out of this, Dan says. Bless his heart. Oh, Matt says Brazos is a goner. I don't know what that means. I don't know if something got him or he moved on to some greener pastures in a different state.
Katie might have shot him with those zebra missiles she was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been some stuff happening in the comments.
It's wild in Texas, apparently.
Yeah. So, Jacob, what you know about Lake Louisville, man? I'm sure you saw they announced that for the Classic location coming up this spring. A lot of Texas folks were none too thrilled. What do you think about it?
So I haven't been to Louisville, and which trail are you referring to? Because
the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's coming up.
Yep, that's right. Sorry. Yep.
No, you're good, man.
So, I have no knowledge of the fishery at all. It's not one that I've really looked into. Haven't ever had to fish it, and so hadn't learned. And I feel so behind right now with that particular question.
Oh, that's all right, man.
You're all right. I mean, it's Louisville. That's all you got. I mean, if you hadn't been on it, you hadn't heard of it, then you're doing all right.
Yeah, man.
You'll be fine. Can I borrow one of those glide baits? That's probably what I'm going to do for 2 or 3 days down there, mostly.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
I've got plenty.
Chris Delgado is talking about Jacob is a true Texas champ. I'm assuming you know Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mhm.
Chris Morales said nobody fishes Louisville for fun. All right.
Katie, there's no reason no one knows Louisville. Oh, God.
Oh,
I think Katie Scotch. Here goes Scotch again. Louisville's fire.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Scott said he's going to win the damn thing. So my day 2 plan, I've told Scotch this, I'm just going to follow him. That is my plan on day 2. Whatever ramp he's launching at, I'm planning strategically to launch there on day 2. Not because he's winning, just because I think I'll like the area.
Yeah. Put a tile in his kayak at the captain's meeting and you can follow him around.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
guys are watching-
Did they just have a Bass Open on Louisville?
Yeah, they did.
Or-
The entire top 10, nobody in the top 10 had a limit all 3 days.
Okay, and now it's all coming together. It's all right because I follow Scott Martin,
Damn.
and I watched a lot of his coverage, that he did himself, and that looked pretty grueling.
I think Scott, I think he had one. I think he had one keeper. Keeper over 2 days, Scott.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's why I don't know. I mean, it's why it's like I've already known that they're having the classic there, but I keep forgetting because it's just not a lake that stands out to me that I would think they would have it there.
That kind of hurts my feelings. Like, when they're like, we're going to put these kayaks out there on Louisville. Like, you got so many great bodies of water in Texas, and we've got a full day to travel to get back to the awards and stuff. Like, throw us on a good lake, man. Let us go have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yes, even around DFW, it sounds like there's a lot of other choices, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. We're going to all, if it goes south and the weather comes in, we'll just go over to the Blackest house. They live close to Louisville. Katie and Ryan will have us.
I mean, I'm not going to make any excuses if I catch fish or not, but I'm going to have a good time. I promise you that.
Yeah,
there you go.
Good time.
That's what it's about at the end of the day.
We still don't know if there's going to be an expo that week, but regardless, we'll make it a good week. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, there will be an exhibition somewhere. It might be after hours.
Yeah. May not be Bass affiliated.
No, it will not be. This will be completely independent of any sanctioning body, I promise.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, Jacob, did you say 2021 you're thinking about getting out of the borders, doing a little traveling next year? What are you eyeballing? The Hobie series, the Bass series?
Definitely the Hobie series. I want to go with, who I represent. First I am on the Hobie fishing team, and I've represented them for Austin Canoe and Kayak since 2017. And so I've definitely been eyeing, the Hobie series. And then especially, fishing the trail, fishing multiple events, 3 or 4. I don't know if AJ's has he let it out yet on
Not yet.
How many. The goal is to try to play that AOY game and make it to TOC. As far as events, I've got to look at it a little closer, just with with overlap with other trail events that we have here. I've really committed to the KATS trail as well as the TKC. And from there, I think definitely Rayburn for sure. And then I think I want to say Broken Bow is good to go. I know Pickwick's toward the end. I think that's going to be one.
There's one in Arkansas. I don't recommend going to Arkansas.
Come on now.
The Jeff
Yeah.
Jeff likes Arkansas, so that might be close for you.
Dardanelle's a good lake.
Yeah, that's Dardanelle. One of them overlaps with one of the TKC events, and so I'm gonna try to strategize it so that I can do all those trails or do those events here in Texas, those grassroots events that are in Texas, and then try to balance it to where I, try not to travel. I mean, I'd love to go to Champlain. I don't know if I'll be able to swing it, and so I'll just try to strategically go to the closest ones that I'm able to do.
Seminole's going to be a good one. That's a pretty good clip from you too. But Seminole and Watts Bar, both of those have huge potential. As far as like the early in the year tournaments, those two, right. I would definitely, if you got the time or the the miles on the gas card, I would definitely put those two at the top of the list. They have some big bag potential for sure.
Right on. Now that you say that, Watts Bar was one of the ones I had picked out on the list for sure.
Watts Bar it's kind of the new Chickamauga. It's the next lake up from Chickamauga. It's had Florida train in it for I think 8-9 years now. The largemouth are starting to get huge. I think they caught like an 8-9 smallmouth in a tournament last year. There's some freaking giant fish in there.
Goodness. That's a giant smallmouth.
Yeah, it is.
Aren't you guys saying over there that's going to be the next Tennessee River hotspot?
Yep, for sure. Cool. I would say in the next 3 years that'll overtake Chickamauga.
Really?
Yep. It's got a lot of grass on it, got a big fish.
And those lakes or those rivers / lakes aren't infiltrated with the carp, are they? Knock on wood.
Not yet, man. Right. I think all the Alabama inbred folks, they'll keep those cleaned out of the river before they get up to us. They're making sandwiches left and right down there.
Seeing them out, carp po' boys.
Jesse Halverson's got a gill net out, just freaking loading that orange Chevy down with carp. He's ready.
Call that the chicken of Alabama? Is that what we call it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I did want to mention I do want to do any of the events that BASS holds in Texas in 2021. I've heard
participation is key. I think the more numbers that show up, the more Bass is going to invest into the kayak part, and I want them to see the kayak part as a big player, as a big marketing opportunity. So hopefully, they'll push it more, and priority wise, schedule will come out faster. We'll get better lakes for the classic. I hope people, continue to support it and stick with it. I think that's going to be a driving factor in it.
Well, I'm hoping we'll get that schedule soon. Christmas is coming. We need that thing before Christmas.
Absolutely.
I would like to have it, 2 months before the event happens. That would be awesome.
Maybe a pay scale a few weeks beforehand too. That'd be nice. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh.
Pay scale's the week of. You know better.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeff.
Based on participation. These Texas folks are having fun in the comments. I like it. It's made for an interesting read over there.
I was excited for a big Texas turnout. They got some wild folks in Texas. I'm glad we got a Texas boy on here.
Yeah, and hey, look at that! Ninja slid into the comments. Good to see you there, Jason.
Shirt on or shirt off? What's the
I don't know. I'll take either way. It's fine. Yeah, man.
Ninja, you got your shirt on? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Drop a pic in the comments. I don't know if we'll let you know.
No, Joe. No.
Yeah, Katie's right. He said they'll be shooting themselves in the foot if they wait too long. People trying to make plans. You know what I mean?
Don't shoot the food. I don't care what you do.
Shoot the food.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Jason, he's old. He fell asleep. Yeah. I feel that, brother. I feel that.
Y'all
if you guys have any
together, didn't you? Didn't you and Jason? Weren't y'all in the same graduating class?
Who? Me and Jason?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm older than him. We've been knowing each other a while. We hung out down at the original TOC back in the Bo Reed days. The Texas folks know that name.
Jason got the shirt on. He said, I want to meet Bo Reed. I've heard so many Bo Reed stories. And I've heard, minimum give a damn. He'll bust you in the mouth real quick and not even check up. And I like
Old Bo's a good old boy, man. I've known him for a long time as well. I don't know what
Bo
happened to
is
him.
a
I
cool guy.
hadn't seen him in a while, but good old boy.
Yeah, he's a straight up guy. I like Bo.
Class of '89. Jason is older than me. Let's go.
Whoa! I was 3 years old, Jason.
My God.
Gosh.
Same here.
Clifton Allen said he's gonna fight Bo if he ever sees him. Listen, tight ends. I was gonna say Twin Peaks. I was thinking my neck of the end. We're going to tight ends. You meet Bo, square up in the parking lot.
We'll do a special live with bad reception and try to make it happen for that. We'll commentate like Snoop did the other night with Nate Robinson and Jake Paul.
Who's gonna be Nate Robinson? Is it gonna be Bo Reed or Clifton Allen?
Well, Bo is shorter than Clifton for sure, so I guess.
Think he's got that reach?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Ryan talking about he was old. All you young folks, just leave it alone. Hey, while we got all the Texas folks in here, I wanna make sure we debut this song. I got it queued up.
You got it.
I got it queued up. So everyone that's watching, Jacob, be patient with us for about a minute here. I got a little special world debut. See if we can get it going here.
From Addison Johnson,
Yeah.
my boy in Nashville. He fishes tournaments with us. He's our country singer in the tournament scene out here. He hit me with a little surprise this afternoon.
Yeah. So y'all enjoy this.
Old lunch funny Lambert is a hell of a man, catching fish by the dozen, drinking beer out of cans, shouldn't every dive bar down till 2. He don't get to the ramp till 9 or 10 with bloodshot eyes and a shit-eating grin, but he'll catch 100 inches as sure as the sky is blue. Old lunch money Lambert, that boy is a rambling wreck. Walk a line, but he can sure cash a check on from up there in Kentucky to that Chickamauga line. Oh, lunch money and Lambert gonna take your dime.
How about that?
Oh, I sent that to my mama, and she said, "That's you."
Yeah. Jacob, once you start traveling around and win a big tournament like Ryan did a couple weeks ago, we got you covered. Addison Johnson will write a song about you. All right.
That'll work.
Oh, Addison's in the comments, man. That was awesome, Addison. Make sure you guys go check out Addison on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere you can find his stuff and download it. Awesome kayak angler and country
got a
singer.
bunch of badass songs out. Brandon Barton's used a couple in his TikTok vids. Rolling Stolen's a really good one, and Cumberland River. He's got a couple really good ones out.
Is that Rolling Stolen about your gear or no?
I think he wrote that prior to all my shit getting stolen. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was a lot of fun though. That was cool. You said he may add a little more onto it.
No, Addison, that was just verse 1, son.
Oh.
Like, when you see me coming on at the Classic, they're gonna play the whole thing. So get ready. I don't know what Louisville's got, but I'm gonna have to get on stage so I can get that theme song one time.
If we had some money, we'd pay him to write an intro to this whole thing. That'd be cool.
He'll do DJ. Listen, DJ said he's about to get in the booth. I want to hear what DJ comes with. DJ, you're in charge of the KBN entry song.
All right. We'll get DJ. Maybe we get DJ and Addison to collaborate. Can you imagine?
God, that'd be like Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Let's do it over and over again. Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be legit.
Oh man.
Oh, DJ said he got to scrap his song now. No, you got to bring them together.
No,
Mix 'em
don't
up.
scrap it, DJ. Come on.
Mix them up. Jacob, it's been a fun interview, man. We appreciate you taking the time to come on here with us. Long overdue after winning that tournament, man.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me. It's a pleasure. I love talking about this stuff. Like I said, I got bit. I got bit real bad. And I'm gonna do it until the wheels fall off.
I don't know if you guys saw that comment there. Ashley Kay said, I can never stay with Ryan at a tournament.
That's smart. That's smart. Cam said, that's a really funny song, but it's also really sad.
That's what Cam said about it?
Yeah. She's not
Oh,
wrong.
God. That's hilarious. Yeah, before we get out of here, Jacob, you want to give a shout out to anybody? Any sponsors, partners, anything you want to shout out?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be here without Austin Canoe and Kayak. I mean, they've been behind me and given me, just a lot of knowledge, a lot of support. So I definitely Austin Canoe and Kayak, Hobie kayaks. I don't think there's a better manufacturer of kayaks for what I do, for, fishing for largemouth, here in the United States, in Texas. Otherwise, it's, gear wise, I mean, I Dobbins rods, Lowrance electronics, Shimano reels, and Sunline. That's probably the main stuff right there.
I got you, man.
What are your goals? What are your goals for 2021? If you had to kind of cherry pick what you want to accomplish, what are your top three?
Realistically, be competitive on that national level. Win a national event. AOI. I've been after AOI. That's what I love to win, or compete to win, for. So AOI in KATS, in the TKC, and in Hobie. An AOI win in any of those trails is a huge victory. So yeah, I'd say that's the main goal. Be competitive on the national level, and anything else after that on that playing field is a bonus. So yeah, just experience, get out in national level experience, getting out and seeing how good I can do. I'd say that's probably realistic for 2021.
I look forward to seeing you out there, man.
Yeah, man. If the other folks that get out and travel around are any indication, you're going to be doing just fine as you travel around.
I hope to see both of y'all at the TOC, Jeff.
Hey, I'm telling you. I know I said it last year, but this year, I don't know what Bass is going to do with their schedule, but I'm front loading mine with the BOS events because I want to make that happen. So
you got to.
Absolutely.
You got to do.
Likewise, making that TOC that's another goal for sure.
I'm telling you, the tournament aside, no matter how that goes or where it is, just the experience of the show they put on, how they treat people, it's worth all your money that you put into it all year. I guarantee it. That's
really cool. I heard Lambert say that. I listened to that podcast earlier today, and I heard him say that, and I've heard everybody say that. I mean, even the conversations I've had with Sanderson, I mean, that's literally what they're all saying. That's how it goes.
I mean, it's roll out the red carpet. It's awesome.
That's legit. And that I really want to be a part of that, especially being that I'm tied so closely with Hobie. I really want to be. I want to be on that level with everybody else. I really do.
Yeah, good stuff, man. It's nice to have those kind of goals to chase nationally. So look forward to 21, man. We're gonna get out there and do it. I look forward to meeting you down at Rayburn, or maybe if you'll be at Broken Bow, I'll be there for sure. So I'll meet you there,
Awesome.
Jacob. That'll be fun.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. All the ones that I can do. If I can, set it up so that it doesn't overlap and I can afford it, I'll be there.
All right, Ryan, you got anything else for us, man? I'm glad we finally got the connection worked out.
My bad. I don't know. I'm gonna scrap it. I'll probably do my next 5 from a hotel room anyway. So
cool. Scrubs and boots for the next one.
Yep, you got
Scrubs and boots. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. We'll wrap this thing up. We're out of here. Appreciate y'all.
All right. See
Thank
you
you
guys.
guys. Y'all have a good night.